Okay. Hi, I'm Maureen Tara Nelson of MTN Matchmaking, and we have the best news ever. Look who we have with us today, Dr. Dave.
Hi.
Thanks for being on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My favorite man in the world. So I could so easily embarrass Dr. Dave because he is the smartest man in the world, too. But he's very modest, so look, he doesn't like compliments like that. But you will see, he is very intelligent. He knows his stuff. And today, most of the questions that we're going to be talking about came from clients or people just, wanting to know about relationships or dating. And it really focuses in on positivity because I think there now is a positive shift going on in the world that people are sick of negativity and they're looking for ways to be positive. And that's what we're here to help with positivity with dating. I mean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, I think all we have to do is watch the news.
Yeah.
We see a young man who's sort of maybe marginalized in society and takes it out by shooting a prominent person in Utah. And I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, we used to solve our differences by sitting down at the table and having a drink and discussing. And then at the end of the table, we would agree to disagree, but walk out being friends. I have plenty of people I don't agree with I have children I don't agree with their views and their and the way that they run their lives. But it's the greatest thing about America is that we're free to choose what we want to choose. It's disturbing to me that it spirals down sometimes to violence, which we all know in our hearts never solves a thing. So.
Yep.
But we're talking about dating today, not violence.
Yes. But we're talking about the importance of always staying positive and not going down the hate road, which, there are some people that just are pessimistic no matter what you do. And I won't take them on as clients. So if you're single and watching this, you're probably meeting people like that on the internet sites, but you're not going to meet them here at MTN Matchmaking. Or every once in a while, someone acts super positive, because that's our screening process, no felony record, being positive, emotionally stable, financially stable, and looking for a committed relationship or marriage. And then, within a month, if things don't go their way, if they turned super negative, I can't work with them. I can't make someone negative successful, no matter what.
True.
And so let's start with the first question. Okay. Otherwise, I'll be just rambling on for 5 more hours. How can negativity or skepticism sabotage someone's dating experience? Okay.
Well, I'll ground the question much easily. I'm a retired medical oncologist, so to save people some time going to look that up, I'm a cancer specialist. I would always say to my patients, it seems to me that the first route emotionally people do is go dark and negative. And I told them I preach to them all the time, there's no sweat off their noses to stay positive, that they were going to win, they were going to be successful, they were going to be happy, rather than giving into the negative apertures and saying things like, oh, well, I can't do this, and I'm not good looking, and I'm not friendly, and people don't like me. It's negativity also, they should understand, secretes a whole bunch of different and negative enzymes in the body, which support those feelings for you. So, it's kind of crazy when you see, but, I used to tell people when they left the exam room, smile all the way out to the door to the parking lot. And then you feel a lot better when you smile. And it's physiological more so than just, emotional. So,
I believe it's on my introduction video on my website, the top 10 tips that I give when you're looking to find someone. And it's always one of them is to everywhere you go, smile at every person you meet.
Mhm.
And people that don't typically do that, you should definitely try it because you'll see an instant difference in your life. And our clients, when they go on dates, they'll come back with, this is great, I want a second date. If the person's positive, even if they don't have the chemistry yet, they'll accept a second, sometimes a third date, if the person is simply positive and happy and smiling. But if someone's not smiling on a date and putting out the negativity, no one is going to want a second date. So, and this goes for dating wherever you're finding love.
yeah, I think Disney has besmirched a lot of people in the instant finding their matches. It's hard work, and it's much easier to be sad and mad and all those other things. But it's hard work to be in a relationship, but it's much more worth it than to be alone.
Yes. During the pandemic, people were calling up saying, I'm afraid to die alone. And we were one of the few matchmaking services that stayed open. And I had to learn how to do this stuff, which I never did before. And in fact, in October, I am going to have a little tiny memoir coming out that
Congratulations.
Thank you. It really is just for me, to remember those times and to know that by keeping positive and putting the positivity and love out there to everyone, because we did daily Facebook Lives and it really helped people finding love. So that will be out in October on Kindle. So,
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, so in matchmaking, number 2, why do positive clients often find love faster than negative ones? I mean, it should be so obvious, right? But
well, I think it is obvious. I mean, if you go in with a positive attitude, it's a whole different set of hormones that you're invoking, and those hormones reinforce things that you see that are positive about that person. You like this rather than negative emotions, which evoke different kind of hormones, which you point out all of the things that you don't like about that person. So you can't build a relationship with burning logs. So being negative all the time, you're not going to succeed. And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where you say, well, I can't do it, so I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. And it does happen a lot quicker when our clients are positive. Again, it's obvious because who wants to be with a negative Nelly? No one.
Yeah.
And during the pandemic, remember they started that quote, the Karens of the world, the women who, all they do is spout negativity out there. And oh my goodness gracious, I could never live like that. But with our clients, every single one of them who took our advice, and there's 3 things that if you ever come to my service, you need to be positive, patient, and open-minded. If you can do that, this program will work. I just don't know when. God knows when. You might need more time if you pick a smaller program, but I can assure you everything we will do to make that person successful. Now, again, the flip side, if a person's negative, there is nothing I can do. I can give you the greatest matches in the world, but you'll go on that date and subconsciously you'll look to find things wrong, to self-sabotage it. Like, I don't like, once I heard, he ate his fries with his fingers. And I'm like, did I miss that memo? Am I not allowed to do that? Where is that written?
but the truth of the matter is she went on the date with an attitude that it wasn't going to be successful rather than with an attitude that it was going to be successful.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're looking for the perfect person, you know, you're going to be walking a very long journey and not find anybody. I mean, I'll let you in a little secret. Nobody's perfect. And if you do find somebody that's perfect, you should probably run away.
True. That's a good
I mean,
point.
everybody has light and dark. That's what makes us unique, you know, and I think that's the most interesting part of people. It's not necessarily their light and not necessarily their dark, but the combination of the two.
Yes. And just also too, with a little secret to be successful when you're going on a date with someone and to help you stay positive is everyone should think of 5 must-haves that they want in someone, regardless of where they meet. And when you go on a date, again, if you look, as I was saying, if you look for negative things, you'll find them. You'll find them with everyone. But if you turn that around and you realize, okay, they have my 5 best qualities, you notice them, but then also, I always suggest look for 5 amazing things about that person that you're meeting for the first time. You'll find them. And when you're focusing in on that, when you go home that night and you think about the date, you'll be thinking of, wow, he or she had my 5 must-haves, but they also had these 5 things, rather than if someone, you know, is looking for negative things.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
I just love how I've been saying this as an executive level certified matchmaker and a dating coach for April will be my 25th anniversary, but 20 years, thank you, owning my own business. What I love about Dr. Dave is everything that we do or what I do, you have done from a physician's standpoint, and you also are able to give the same advice, if not better, just from a medical standpoint.
I mean, the psychology of, I mean, I can cure their cancer or help them with their cancer pretty easily. I had, you know, I had very great people, you know, take a liking to a hard-headed kid from New York City and teach me some things. The problem always occurs in their ability to believe that something good is going to happen to them. And I think that may bleed into what we're talking about here today. People tend to go into a date and say, you know, I mean, how many women do you know who call their girlfriend and say, listen, I'm going out on a date. I'm not quite sure, you know, call me in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Just so I can say, oh, there's an emergency at home and I can leave. Don't
ever do that, girls. We all know that trick.
And guys do the same thing, you know.
Terrible.
I mean, I think positivity is a big thing.
Huge. So it's huge in medicine.
Yeah.
But it's also huge in what I do as far as keeping my clients positive.
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile everywhere. You know, it's a whole different set of hormones that your body secretes. I mean, I used to tell patients when they would ask me, you know, can you help me? And I said, well, my eyes closed and my hands behind my back. I can cure your cancer, but I can't help you up here. You have to do that yourself. So
that's great. Okay, well, this number 3 is really easy because we've been basically saying this already. But how does the role of patience play in the matchmaking process? And just like I said before, if I take someone on and I believe in my heart that I could make them successful if they take my advice and if they do those 3 things, but I just don't know when. And what would you like to add, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think patience is a great trait to have that very few people have and believe in.
True.
And I think that the generation that we live in now, where they're used to getting access to everything in an instant.
Millennials, I'm sorry.
I mean, everybody really. I mean, I'm as guilty as everybody else. I have a phone, and when someone says something interesting, I write it in my notes, and then I'll go back later on and I'll look at it, and then, or if someone says something and then I want to find out if it's factual or they're full of baloney. So it's kind of gone away from the genteel nature of society and our ability to forgive or look over. Well, yes, every man wants to marry a supermodel, and every woman wants to have Rock Hudson. I guess he's gay, I shouldn't use that, but whatever.
Tom Cruise. Oh wait, they say he's gay too. I don't know.
I know, yeah, but it doesn't really
Kevin
matter.
Costner.
Kevin Costner is a good one, yes.
Which I know, and I hope my friend Mo from Florida is watching this. I swear I made out with Kevin Costner 20 years ago in a Florida bar when Church Street Station was there. But I don't know. She swears, she's like, Maureen, didn't look anything like him. But in my mind, I did.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Okay. So the next one is, how can staying positive make someone more attractive to potential partners?
Well, the number one question is, you are already attracted to that partner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If they're first of all, if they're attracted to you, they're talking to you, they're interested in you. Mm-hmm. So that's one. I think being yourself and being genuine is a big part of this. And I think that you should be hopeful rather than worried. Mm-hmm. You should think of yourself as a catch rather than someone who's lucky that they're looking at you.
Yeah. Again, that's where the confidence comes in, that if you're a confident person, and everyone should be confident, because I remember my mom used to always say, God made us all, and he made us all beautiful. So if you kind of think like that always, you'll have confidence and you'll think about the things that you're great at. Mm-hmm. And when you're going into the dating world with confidence, you'll have more success because you'll be happy. You'll be smiling at your date. Whereas, let's just for a second talk about negativity, which I dislike doing very much. But if you're not smiling on your date, if you act not interested, you're not getting a second date. So
no, you're probably not getting a first date either.
Yeah. So it's very important to look and be positive in your dating. Okay. So how can people reframe rejection or a date that doesn't work out in a positive way? Ooh, good question, peeps.
Say that again for me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was distracted by the StreamYard.
Oh yeah.
That's okay.
That part shouldn't be there.
That's
but
right.
I think what it is if someone comments and, hey, Asa, everyone needs an Asa. If you're watching, can you comment for us? Because then we'll be able to see it in that line. Okay. And, okay. Oh, wow. Now we're on big screen. So is it still there? Because I don't see it now.
Yeah, I still see it. I'm not going to touch it. I can cure cancer, but I'm technology challenged. So I try not to touch anything that.
I usually need my millennials to do all of this for me. So, Okay. So again, this is a good question, because if a date doesn't work out, the typical quick response that's a mistake to make is, he didn't like me, she didn't like me. Oh, well, I have to go back to the drawing board, for me, and all these negative thoughts. You have to train your brain to focus in only on positive thoughts and realize that especially if someone's a client of mine, if I take you on, I know you'll be successful eventually. So I know there's a lid for every pot, but that's the case wherever you meet someone. So just realize if for whatever reason you don't get that second date, instead of, unfortunately, what people sometimes have done is, I hate the program. This program's horrible. He didn't ask me out on a second date. No, he just wasn't the lid to your pot. You're the pot.
Yeah.
I'm finding you your lid. And it's not going to happen the first time, maybe. I mean, it's very rare. It's probably like getting a hole in one, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agree. I mean, there's somebody for everybody in this world. One. Two, I think the harder you push, maybe the more difficult it is for you to recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people should concentrate on what makes them happy, and then get a partner to accentuate that happiness. And it fits a lot better than just trying to say, "Oh, wow, there's this beautiful woman or hot guy, and I want to go looking for him." I mean, not everybody kisses a frog and has a prince.
Yes, that's true. Okay, so why is it important to trust? Oh, this must be from one of my clients. Why is it important to trust the matchmaking process instead of focusing on instant results? Okay, we touched a little bit on this before. It's not going to happen instantly. You were single by the time you come to me, you've been single for years, even if you're in your 20s. Say if you're in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s, 60s, you've been single for a long time. You can't expect, just because you pay any matchmaker, that it will happen instantly. But what would you say?
Well, I used to tell my children, it's called testing and preparation. You're testing the waters. You're trying to figure out what you want, what you don't want. And it's preparing you for that one person who's going to fit into your atmosphere. People refer to it as kissing a lot of frogs before you get a prince, but I think that's kind of hard. I don't know many princes out there, but I think it's good to see. I'm not saying being promiscuous. I'm just saying it's good to find out really what you like, because most people don't know what they like. They watch TV, which is kind of biased.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could hinder their success and make them unrealistic. I want that movie star.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A single person who's not fallen in love with somebody on TV. Oh God, I wish I could marry her. I think it is what it's supposed to be. My professors at Fordham, taught me that little soliloquy, and I try to remember it every once in a while when I'm frustrated with this or I'm frustrated with that, or taking care of my patients, or my children are driving me out of the wall, or my grandchildren are driving me nuts. I mean, it is what it's supposed to be, and we're learning all the way along. You can't. I mean, some people do find someone on the first try and marry them, and it's successful and it's beautiful and everything works. But the vast majority of us, you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you get a prince or a princess.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things I'd like to add about when someone is dating on the internet sites, okay, anyone can get dates on the internet sites, anyone, because there's no screening process. And there are men and some women that just want sex. So it doesn't matter what you look like. You can turn the lights off. And I mean, it sounds horrible, but it happens. And guys will call up and say that. Now, I hang up the phone. We don't schedule an appointment for guys like that, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the internet site. Okay. So if you go on 100 dates in a month on the internet, but yet you're still single, okay, that's horrible results. It wastes your time. It wastes your money, because ladies, look, you want to probably get your hair done, maybe your makeup, get a new outfit, maybe. all the things that you do for a first date, only to find out he brings up something like, hey, you want to go back to my place at the end? Then you know, any guy or girl who brings up sex within the first 15 minutes on a date or brings it up talking on the phone, if they bring that up, then you know that's all they're looking for. Now, many of them are sly. They're not going to tell you, oh, by the way, I'm just using you for sex. They're going to say, what are you looking for? And ladies, what are you going to say? I'm looking for a committed relationship. So am I. And that's where ghosting came about, because the guys who want just sex would lie about it. And the girls would think, oh my goodness, I just had this great date with this handsome guy on the internet. I don't know why he didn't call me. Maybe he lost my phone number. Should I call him again? No, never, never. But here at MTN Matchmaking and any professional matchmaking service, it's quality versus quantity. So a lot of times ladies have said, 3 of the guys said no to me. So now a positive person would say, am I doing, and this happens a lot because 95% of our clients are all positive people and they all will be successful. They'll say, am I doing something wrong? How could I fix that? Typically, it just comes down to the photos, okay, because men are very visual. And we retake their photos at no charge. The person that turns around and says, MTN Matchmaking sucks because 3 people said no to me and I haven't gotten on a date, that's negativity. Get rid of that thinking. What would you say to that?
Well, I think I said it earlier. You got to kiss a lot of, frogs to get a prince or a princess. I think our expectations are way out of whack.
Mm.
And the internet has done nothing but made it worse.
Yes,
unrealistic. In the old days, we used to walk through the halls at Division Avenue High School, and we look at somebody or look at somebody else. I would wake and be at a party, and you stand next to them for a few minutes and talk, and then a week later you'd bump into them at the library, and you would talk to them, and there was that maturation process of getting to know each other. Nowadays, they go to a matchmaking service and they expect you to instantly match them with the perfect person based on the chemistry and the computer and everything else. And I mean, I wish it was that simple.
Me too. But the fact is, you can't compare. I got 100 dates on an internet site and 0 dates so far at MTN Matchmaking within a month. Apples to oranges. So if you just keep that in mind and realize people are not here to just have sex. Obviously, they're making an investment in themselves to have a committed relationship with the right person who's compatible to them in 3 ways with their 5 must-haves. And we encourage our clients to say yes 90% of the time. Can't make them. We encourage our clients to go out on 3 dates because dating is not a business transaction. Business transactions, you have 1 chance to make a first impression, a great first impression. Mm-hmm. Dating, there's so many things, variables like nerves that come into play. You have to give someone a pass on a first date if they're just, not on their game, and you're not going to know it. So give them a chance.
I told my children, my boys, maybe not my daughter. No, I did do it with my daughter too. I said, you should. I don't want you to come home and say I fall in love with this woman or this girl and I want to marry her. I asked him at least to date or have a relationship with 3 different people. I mean, it sounds crazy when I say these things, but they all did more than that. But they all ended up with wonderful women in their lives. And my daughter, who's not married, but with a wonderful guy, you know, dated, as she would put it, she dated a few frogs, but married a prince. So it's, I don't think anybody should ever get discouraged. You know, if you sat down at a glorious table of food and the first thing you bit into didn't taste good, would you just walk away and say, "Oh, it all sucked"?
That's a great analogy. Oh my goodness.
You just move on to the next course. I mean, I think relaxation, I think being yourself. I mean, everybody's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's beautiful.
I love all of my clients. I think all of my clients are beautiful and handsome. And one guy said to me once 5 years ago, you know, Maureen, I don't know, you're saying she's beautiful, but you say everyone is beautiful. They are. All of my clients are beautiful.
Right.
So, okay, let's see what else. I think we only have one more. What daily habits or mindset shifts can singles practice to keep positivity alive in their dating journey?
Okay, so I will tell you. I will tell you this, from a doctor's perspective and a medical perspective, the hormones that you generate from positive thoughts in the brain and to the rest of the body are much more and much better for your body and your mind and your heart and your activities than negativities. They secrete different hormones in the body, completely different. I know people are going to say, well, he's out of his mind. You know what? Go look it up.
No one would ever say that to you.
A few people have called me out of my mind. But
I would block them instantly if they did.
But, you know, I think that if you just remain positive, nobody's perfect. I know that shocks everybody when I say that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's absolutely exactly what you wanted. But they have enough qualities that you may not have expected to find really endearing. And, you know, those things are really important in lifelong relationships. You know, they're the building blocks of where you build a family from.
Mm-hmm. I suggest to all singles, especially if you're re-entering the dating world now for the first time in years, or even if you're just getting into dating now, to work on your positivity. Every morning, and I learned this as a former pharmaceutical rep, we had to do this, and believe me, it worked. Every morning when you're brushing your teeth, you have your mirror in the bathroom, and you can see yourself. You tell yourself, I am beautiful both inside and out. And if you say it, you can't help not smile. It's impossible. So
even the people who think that's ridiculous should do it more often.
Yes. Because
and you'll find yourself laughing.
Yes. I have had many hundreds of clients over my 25 years say, almost 25 years, do this. If they walked in and, you know, they have the resting bitch face, there's a cure for that. This is the cure if you have resting bitch face, or if you're just a negative person, which again exudes out of you and people can notice it because you're not smiling. So by doing that, brushing your teeth, you're seeing yourself, I am beautiful both inside and out. You'll see, and try it now. Everyone should run in their bathrooms, brush their teeth, and do this. And I do it with my life coaching clients.
Mm-hmm.
And within a month of doing that, it's very natural to smile. Whereas in the past, it wasn't. And I mean, I know it worked for me, and it's worked for hundreds of my clients. So that's a good thing to do to start. And then I'm a big believer in manifesting love. And, you know, that's like step 2 of the law of attraction. Part one is the law of attraction. What you put out there is what you're going to get. So I want the greatest person in the world, and I know I'm going to get him or her. You should all be saying that every single day. You need your mind, you need to train your mind and your brain to be prepared for that, and to be prepared that it's going to be good news. Okay? If you put out negative energy, you'll have negative results every single time. And if you notice, most, if not all, very successful people are also very positive. Okay. But by that first step, that helps a lot. But I hired a life coach, if anyone wants information on her, about 9 months ago, and I thought she was wonderful. She taught me the importance of manifesting, which it's a lot harder than it sounds. It's I am successful at MTN Matchmaking. And every single night before you go to bed, that's what you're thinking. I am successful already. Because then that's all your brain knows, that you're successful.
Mhm.
And by doing that, when the opportunity comes to you to be in a successful relationship, you won't get scared and screw it up. You won't get nervous and, make mistakes. You won't be subconsciously self-sabotaging your own success, which people do. And I don't know why they do it. Do you know why people self-sabotage themselves subconsciously?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows why people do it, but they do it. They do it all the time. So you're retraining your brain that it's happened already. I am successful. I have found love at MTN Matchmaking. And now the second part of that is to how it feels. Think of how it feels to be in love and all the benefits of being in love and being happy and being successful. Because soon your brain and your mind, they're only going to be living in that world, not the world you're living in now, because now you don't know what it feels like to be in love with the right person. That's why you're here, to find that person. But by manifesting it, training yourself that it's happened already, so then when we give you the opportunity, it worked. It sounds simple, but it is a little harder, but it does work. Then lastly, something that I started doing once I went national is just meditating. And of course, everything in meditating is positive thoughts, throwing positivity into yourself. And what I do every morning now, and I don't know who said this, but I love this. Okay. And it works.
Mhm.
And I've said this to you before. I texted it to you, but you probably are like, oh, I don't know. No, actually, I think you said it worked. Okay. So every morning, because instead of going to your phone and all of that stuff, you think of 10 things in your life that you are so happy about. My kids, my health, all of that. So 10 things that you are blessed that you have in life.
Mhm.
Then think of 3 haters, because sadly in this world, almost everyone has haters. As I said to you before, oh, you're a doctor, you cured cancer. No one could hate you. You've never experienced that. Whereas a matchmaker, we don't have control over so many things. I have haters. So think of the 3 biggest haters that you have, and you pray for them. And you pray that they are going to be happy and that they are going to have great lives. Because the moment someone is really happy in their life, they're not a hater anymore. They don't have time for hate. They don't have time to be writing this and writing that and putting out negativity in the world. They're
Mhm.
happy and they're living their life being happy. So
Yeah.
praying for those 3 people. And then lastly, this is so hard for me, taking 10 minutes and I set the timer off on my phone and I do nothing for 10 minutes. And, things are going to be popping into my mind constantly. Nope, push it out for 10 minutes so that I'm starting my day in that mode of easy, relaxing, positivity, love, my blessings, and all good stuff. And if you do that, and everyone should do it before you start dating, you will be so much more successful than you even realize you could be.
Mhm.
And that's the whole reason why people are getting into manifesting love nowadays. And I think it's great. What do you think?
Um, yeah, I mean, anything that you can do or achieve for yourself will give you reinforcement into the direction that you want to go. Um, I think what you said is right. I mean, being positive is again, from a physiological standpoint, secretes a whole bunch of different, more positive enzymes and hormones than the negative stuff. Um, but for some reason, and it's never really been explained to me, but if you divide issues in 50%, right? 50% go negative, 50% go positive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like, what's the skin off your nose if you take a chance and go positive? You know,
Nothing. Right.
yeah. I mean, if you stay negative and you are negative, the hormones that you're secreting will reinforce that unhappiness. And, you're going to get into this spiraling circle. So just be positive. Okay, you didn't get a date this time. The next time maybe it is Prince Charming rather than a frog. I don't know. Very few people I know, find the person they're going to be with the rest of their lives in grade school. You know,
And at that young age, because you've heard me say it millions of times if you've ever watched one of my videos, we have to be compatible and have chemistry. Everyone knows the chemistry part. And people make the mistake of thinking it's only chemistry. That's what it is when we're that young. But the compatibility part, even if we're lucky enough to be compatible at that young age, the odds of someone staying positive when their brains aren't even developed yet until I think 25. So
yeah.
it's just a lot harder. So, yeah, that's the key ingredient, compatibility and chemistry. And this matchmaker does compatibility for you. And I'll just say that.
Perfect.
Now, on Sunday, I am going to be doing a seminar in the Huntington Hilton on how to improve your sex and love life after 50. If you'd like to help me with that, doctor, let me know.
I don't know that I'll be in Huntington at that time.
Okay, come on, everybody. Who wants them to come to Huntington? Kidding. Okay, but we will have a table there where if you have questions on dating or questions on the program or the process, come up to us. We have a great renewal rate from clients that have been former clients from 10 years ago or more.
Mhm.
This incredible offer for you to come back because now we have so many more great quality singles. You could ask about that. And we're also going to have a singles lounge.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. So again, it's an over 50 fare, not for singles. So it's for anyone 50 and above. And you don't even have to be 50 to enjoy it because there's going to be a lot of different tables. But I happen to have some free tickets. So I know, I think I can do 10 or 15. So I'll make it 15 today, even if I have to pay for it. That if you comment below or message me or text me that you would like to attend, I will give you a free ticket, up to 15 of you. And I think 5 are already spoken for. Okay. So let me know and I will give you your ticket, and you have to have the number of the ticket, which I will give you to come in. And then we'll see you all on Sunday. So thank you so much, Dr. Dave. You
My
are
pleasure.
truly the best. And you, I love how you always seem to know the answers to everything besides medicine. It could be anything. So our
I don't
viewers,
know the answers to anything, and I'm not even sure I understand the questions.
so viewers, obviously and clearly he does not take compliments well, but I hope everyone realizes how fortunate that we are that he is giving us his medical opinion on all of these things, because they do all interact. So
Very much.
again, thanks for watching, and see you hopefully Sunday, all of you, or next week on Friday, Facebook Live. Bye.
Bye-bye.